GTA 6 is hiding a second location, and in this video I will break down why this might actually be true. We will go over the leaks from 10 years ago, talk about all the games that featured unique locations not visible in the pro materials, and cover everything that seemingly is pointing towards the inclusion of a second location. Without further ado, let's get straight into it, shall we? Ever since the inception of Rockstar Games for basically 3 decades now, Rockstar has had this weird hobby of giving us just enough world to admire, but not enough to truly ever be satisfied. With GTA 6, however, Rockstar seems to be going all in. In 2004, San Andreas dropped the biggest map in the series up to that point, and then on top of that, they threw in a surprise visit to Liberty City halfway through the game. Back then, this little vacation that we took from the sun-filled state of San Andreas to a snowy Liberty made San Andreas feel even bigger than it really was.
That's what she said!
Then, with the release of Red Dead Redemption 1, they did it again on an even bigger scale when they sent everyone's second favorite cowboy into Mexico to basically run errands for a rebel army as well as the Mexican government itself, basically making him the first official CIA asset before the CIA was even a thing.
Are you sure about that?
A few years later, Rockstar did the same thing with Max Payne, with the inclusion of both segments from Panama as well as New Jersey alongside the primary setting of Sao Paulo. This trend continued even with the release of GTA 5, with its opening mission taking place within North Yankton. Now yes, North Yankton wasn't really that special, as it's quite the linear experience, but the fact that the landscape changes even for a single mission is enough to give us a memorable experience that feels even bigger than it actually is. This kind of map design was fully mastered with the release of RDR 2, where Rockstar basically created a world that featured mountains, plains, swamps, as well as desert terrain, which was all accessible to the player. Well, to John at least, as Arthur would basically get slimed every time he tried crossing the area of Blackwater. Now, this is where things kind of become interesting, as if we take a closer look at the mapping project done by Giannis, Rick, and a bunch of other gigachads who spent more time counting palm trees than most people spend with their families, one thing immediately stands out. The 0-0 coordinates of the entire map sit right in the middle of Vice City. And yes, I know that this means nothing in the grand scheme of things, as even Giannis himself confirmed, but this does leave us with a few options for the bottom right corner of the map as well as the southern part under Leonardo Keys. The most optimistic way of looking at this is that Rockstar is actually either hiding the Bahamas or the island of Cuba within those possible spots on the map. Unfortunately, the most likely outcome is that the map just ends where we think it does, and where the mapping project has rounded it off. This would most likely mean that Rockstar just suddenly decided to stop doing the thing that they have been doing for 20 years straight, or on the other hand, they are doing exactly what they've been doing and are saving up a big reveal for when the game actually releases. If we take a look at the leaks from 2016, where we first got the reveal about the two protagonists being a male and a female, with the male being involved in smuggling goods from Cuba into Vice City and the female one being a cop, we can see the mention of Cuba predates any crazy online theory that we've received over the past 6 years. Rockstar might not physically include Cuba into the main map. Instead, they might opt for an approach that would be similar to the one that we were supposed to get in RDR 2, where you could have been able to take a ferry ride into Guam as John later in the epilogue. Or they might opt for an approach where you would be able to fly a plane or drive a boat off map before a cutscene would play and load you into the Cuba map, which would be quite similar to what we had in Scarface as well as in the Cayo Perico heist. And if you ask me, I personally think that their shortcomings on Guam will be addressed with GTA 6, especially as a tropical island paradise seems like the perfect getaway for Jason Lucia if the Fast and Furious inspiration is to be believed. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised to even have Vin Diesel come in at one point to promote Cuban NOS for the lowriders, or just talk about family in general.
Family.
But does GTA 6 really need Cuba? Is having a second location inside of a GTA game overrated, and does it really impact the game itself at all? Well, the answer to that question is different for everyone, as for you, it might not need anything else except cars, Vice City, and the freedom to do whatever you want. For others, it might need a lot more due to the long wait. But for me, personally, I like my landscape to be varied, dense, and have that feeling of being lived in even if I went there 1,000 times. Rockstar has done a good job with every single release that they have had, basically improving on things that people were complaining about with each new release. But now, it's time to combine everything that they've done into one big unified blob of features, map design, and storytelling. Once GTA 6 releases, it will be a little bit over 8 years since the release of RDR2, and saying this out loud makes me feel like I will need hip replacement surgery by the time GTA 7 gets announced.
My back!
But after 8 years of waiting for a new Rockstar release and a little bit over 13 years since the release of GTA 5, it's in Rockstar's interest to offer us a game that will basically fulfill all of our expectations. Now yes, we might not get Cuba as part of the full GTA 6 map, but that doesn't mean that we aren't getting another set of islands tailored after the Bahamas and the Bermuda Triangle, for instance. This is most likely what we will see when the game releases in full, but that doesn't mean that Cuba won't actually be in the game. Its presence can easily be hidden in the same way as Guam was. Now, leaks from GameRoll that came out in June of 2025 seem to suggest that Rockstar hasn't officially completed Chapter 4 and 5, and that both chapters were being redone. If you couple this with the fact that Lucia's voice actor basically vanished from the face of the earth after removing her social medias, we might legit be getting some kind of island paradise included either in Chapter 4 or Chapter 5. Now, I know that a lot of speculation has been made about Liberty City being a part of GTA 6, but if I had to bet on either Cuba or Liberty, my pick would have to be Cuba, as it's a more logical inclusion due to the proximity to Vice City. But considering our luck, the best we get is a SpongeBob reference with a miniature bikini bottom and a Leslie Benzies image right next to J.E. Jokes aside, the leak from 2016 has re-emerged a few days back, so this kind of gives me major hope for the final release. Now yes, I know that this most likely is copium on my end, but either way, here's what the original leak has claimed. According to the original post, GTA 6 originally had two major regions, a modern reimagined Vice City and a second location that was set in Cuba. The leak described two protagonists with each having unique storylines that would eventually intertwine. One character was allegedly part of an international smuggling operation, while the other one was a US-based contact facilitating logistics and movement between regions. This, even if scaled down, would make for one of the best GTA entries ever since San Andreas and GTA 4, and with the leaks from 2022 suggesting that we as the player would have access to money laundering fronts, it would easily be a dream come true for every single Scarface fan.
Hello to my little friend!
With Strauss Zelnick recently announcing that marketing for GTA 6 is kicking off in the summer of 2026 and claiming that no further delays would be happening as he was extremely confident of the November release, we are left with nothing but hope that Cuba, as well as any other location, will make it into the final game. One way that I personally believe we will be seeing Cuba is via DLC. After all, the Cayo Perico heist always felt like testing grounds for something more, and with the release of GTA 6 slowly approaching, it's only fair to assume there was testing grounds for seamless travel between large chunks of land, while saving our memory. Either way, just remember, even if Cuba isn't part of the main map, it doesn't mean that it won't be in the game. Hell, maybe Cuba is the friends we made along the way. Anyways, what do you guys think? Will we be seeing Cuba in the final release? Will Rockstar release Cuba as DLC for GTA Online? Or is the best we get just the Bahamas with the Bermuda Triangle mystery? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for taking time to watch this video, and a huge shout out to the 1,900 people that ended up subscribing. You folks are the best, and I honestly can't believe that we somehow managed to get to this number. Thank you to each and every one of you. Now, if you guys haven't already, please make sure to hit that like button and of course subscribe so that good luck might follow you on your future adventures. Anyways, stay silly, keep badging, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.